Hey everybody, Grunt Reviews. We are taking a look at something I've wanted to get my hands on for a little while. Guys, today we are going to do our unboxing and tabletop on the Sig Sauer MCX Virtus Patrol Carbine or Virtus Patrol Rifle. Guys, as always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your thoughts, share us with your friends. I've got my Buy Me a Coffee link in the description as always, and if you haven't, check us out over on rumble.com. We're putting up some cool and different content over there that you can't get on YouTube. And let's get into it. We will dig right into this bad boy. So looking at the box, obviously a pretty basic cardboard box, and you do get a nice piece of molded styrofoam. We get our firearm lock. Of course, we get our paperwork, our manual, and a congratulations postcard, where they do give you some nice additional touches. So this one does come with a sling that does have QDs on it as well too. Not a huge deal, but it is a nice little add-on that is included in the box. Does save you a couple bucks in the aftermarket. This particular serial number comes with a single metal, aluminum type mag. The newer ones are coming with polymer. It is a different SKU number there, but you do get a single magazine. Another really nice touch, we get a double-sided torque wrench there. But what I really like is they also include, it is only a single piece, but they do include a nice piece of aluminum pick rail with M-lock mounting. So once again, not a whole bunch of money, but it is nice. They at least give you one little chunk of it with the rifle itself. And last, and most definitely not least, we have the rifle itself. Get this sucker folded down here and out of the way. And let me get zoomed in on this. So starting from the front, working our way back, we do get a 3-prong flash hider up front. And then our barrel is a 5.56 barrel with a 1 and 7 twist. And of course that is notated on the barrel itself. We do get some very nice flip up sights with this. These are not auto flip up, but they are some nice backup iron sights, and they are not polymer, they are aluminum or steel. So once again, nice little extra add-on, if you will, that they do include out of the box, which helps justify some of the price. Now obviously what makes this different, even though it looks like a standard AR, if you've never seen one of these, is this does function on a short stroke gas piston. It actually has a completely different bolt design that we will discuss. But the nice thing is it comes with an adjustable gas block from the factory for that short stroke piston. So it is adjusted from the front of the handguard, and essentially you have a high and a low setting, or standard and suppressed, however you would like to use the nomenclature there. Handguard obviously has 18 slots of M-lock on it. Had to do a little bit of counting there. We have it on the bottom, we have it on the left, we have it on the right, and they do top it off with a QD sling mount. Of course, full-length Picatinny rail, and it is actually very nice the way that this upper receiver engages with the rail. If you actually notice, the upper receiver comes all the way to here, and then from here back we have the rail. It's a little bit different setup, but this is not a standard AR upper either. So this is a little bit different design. As we work our way back, things will start to feel a little bit more familiar and AR-esque. We have, of course, a traditional dust cover there. We have a functional forward assist. And what I've noticed about this unit is this is all plastic. or a hard polymer, I should say. Looking at the way it's set up, I would almost say that either they have it now or in the future, there might be a forward assist delete kit of some sort, because this whole section does look to be replaceable and separate from the upper receiver itself. Of course, we already talked about the sights. You do get an ambidextrous extended charging handle there. And as we work our way towards the back, so the rear of this lower, even though these uppers will fit on standard AR receivers, it does have its own lower design. The reason for this, because the recoil system, as we'll see, is built into the upper and the carrier itself. This allows us a couple things. One, they do give you QD points on the back of the receiver, which is always nice. And then the stock actually mounts via 1913 Picatinny there, and it allows a folding stock. So this does fold to the left side instead of the right side. The stock is adjustable for length of pull, and there's a few different stocks they have. This particular one actually uses a locking system, if you will, for the length of pull adjustment. So there's a center section. You have to press the center. That allows you to actually depress the adjuster and slide it in and out. So if you inadvertently catch your finger on it, it will not slide. You have to directly engage that locking piece. The back of the stock, of course, you do get one traditional sling point, if you will, or sling loop, and then we do have QDs on both sides there. Working our way down to the lower, you will notice a slightly enlarged magazine release there, so they do give you a little bit more purchase to get your finger on, or if you have shorter fingers, does make life a little bit easier. Safety is a ambidextrous safety, and it is a 90 degree. We do have, of course, the ambidextrous mag release there, but we do not have an ambidextrous bolt release. So basically everything except for the bolt is ambi on this. As we get all the way down to the bottom, we do get, of course, the Sig Sauer grip, and this is a bit of a reduced grip angle grip there. A little bit more like the Magpul K series, if you will. And we do have, of course, just a little bit of storage in the bottom. Trigger on this thing, and we'll get that knocked out real quick here. Let me grab my handy dandy Lyman digital trigger gauge. So some of the initial complaints with these is that the trigger sucked. No other way to put it. So Sig actually went and improved the trigger, and this is the new upgraded two-stage trigger, if you will. So a little bit better weight to it, a little bit more manageable pull, a little bit more grit. Definitely not a competition trigger by any means, but definitely very, very usable. So we'll take a look here. So we've got that first stage, about 1/8 of an inch of take up there. We get right on that wall. There's just a hair of creep and a break. And one more time. So we are wall, creep, break, and reset. Little bit long, but very audible. And then we're back on that wall and break again. So definitely a little bit better than a mil-spec trigger, but I wouldn't say anything incredibly fantastic out of the box. Trigger weight on this bad boy. First pull, 5 pounds, 13 ounces. And I'll actually give you stage 1 on this pull. So first stage is 3 pounds, 12.5 ounces. And pull on that one, 5 pounds, 14 ounces. We will grab one more pull for consistency here. And that one, you know, it said 5.1, but it stopped before it broke. Let me try it one more time here. and 5 pounds and a half ounce. This is fresh out of the box as always, so that trigger may have a little bit more of a break-in to it, work through some of the factory grease, the factory grit there. Last thing I do want to highlight, and these pins tend to be a little stiff on these. There we go. Is the bolt carrier group itself. Other thing I will mention is this in flat dark earth. If you can see here, does appear to be a Cerakote finish. It's not an anodization. So you can see where the interior of the receiver is still black, and we have, of course, that flat dark earth coating laid over that. But the big one with this is the bolt carrier. So if you own an AR or have shot one, you'll notice that the bolt carrier is significantly different. While it does share a few similarities, it looks like it's chopped down and slung on a couple of springs. What this is the entire recoil system is actually built into the carrier unit itself. There we go, and to get a good grip on it. So what you get is, as that short stroke piston there fires against this, shoves the entire unit back, and that recoil system rides inside the upper entirely, so you don't have to have a separate buffer and a separate spring. Does a couple of things. One, obviously the bolt carrier is smaller, but number two, we also don't have the extra weight of the buffer. So in theory, this should give us lighter recoil because we have less moving mass. Obviously the piston will add just a little bit to that mass, and if you can't see there, these things do come relatively slimy from the factory. But just kind of wanted to show you the difference in this bad boy from a traditional AR. Last thing I will highlight is the charging handle is proprietary to the MCX. So the way it essentially works is it grabs the back of the, I don't know what you want to call that, the piston rider, if you will, and that's actually what allows you to charge the firearm. Takedown on this is going to be a little bit different. Everything else is going to be pretty standard to what you're used to, but it does use a slightly different takedown system from the traditional cotter pin that most people are used to. But just wanted to highlight that portion for you as well. Guys, we will be taking this out to this range, out to the range. We will be putting it through its paces, and we will be running it suppressed to see how it runs suppressed. But as always, I do appreciate your time watching this. Stay safe, train hard.